It's now just after 5:30 p.m. It's 5:32 p.m. on Tuesday, the 23rd of June 2020, and I declare our meeting open. I'd just like to start by acknowledging the Whadjuk people, the traditional custodians of the land. We also pay our respects to elders, both past and present. May I ask everybody present this evening to turn off electronic devices, mobile phones, iPads, and tablets for the duration of the meeting. Tonight's council meeting is being recorded. A copy of the audio recording for the special council meeting will be available on the city's website within 72 hours of this meeting. And the remainder of the disclaimer, of course, can be seen on screen. Apologies, I have none, but I note that Councillor Sabiri is not present at the moment. Approved leave of absence. There is none at item 2.2. Disclosures of interest. CEO, we have no disclosures of interest. None received. Thank you. We move on. 3.1, declaration of interest. There are none. Declarations of impartiality at 3.2. There are none. Question time for the public at item 4. There are no members of the public here this evening, so I won't open question time and I won't close it. We'll just move on to item 5, which is a receiving of petitions, presentations and deputations. At item 5.1, petitions, there are none. At item 5.2, presentations, there are none. And at item 5.3, deputations, there are none. As far as reports, at item 6, we have the single report tonight. The responsible officer is Director Warren Bowe, the Director of Canning Environment. The purpose of our meeting tonight is to discuss EN 013 of 20. The title of that report is Recycling Contract. The officer's recommendation is on page 4 of tonight's agenda, and it is also on the screen. Can I have a mover and a seconder, please? Councillor Barry will be the mover. You want to ask a question?
I was going to ask that could this be heard behind closed doors? Because we have it's open to the public, as far as I know it from here on in. If we're going to speak on it, well, I will anyway. But I mean, I
don't mind that, Graham. Quite frankly, we've got a number of confidential attachments, and
yes.
It's not beyond reason that someone might ask a question that touches on that.
Yeah, 5.23 for the sake of making it legitimate, and probably just about every one of the A through to E could possibly count within that. So it's up to the councillors to vote for it anyway. And I'll move that.
Can I have a seconder, please? Councillor Holland is seconding it, and the motion from Councillor Barry is that EN 01320 recycling contract moves behind closed doors. The only point I'd raise with that would be, actually I'll speak to it. Go on. Councillor Barry, did you want to speak to it?
Only to the extent that, as you said, there is a number of confidential attachments. In an open session, we can't talk about it because we would be breaching confidentiality in doing that. So if anybody wants to speak about, I can't even say it now, but I think if everybody's read it, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, if everybody wants to vote yes to this, then basically their option then is to say, sit down, Councillor Barry.
No problem. Okay. Councillor Holland, did you have anything you want to add?
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Oh yeah, I think we haven't got a choice but to do that. I'm just looking at just the headline here, confidential legal advice. So if anyone brings that up, we can't. I think it's prudent to do it in this instance. Thank you.
Yeah, I only think, and I'm not speaking against it, but, well, hang on. I'll speak in favour of it, but I think the only folly for the council would be we've been criticised in the past for sometimes holding things under confidential cover. By actually going under confidential cover tonight, there will be no recording available available to the public. They won't know what's being discussed here, and they won't know the reasons for the decision we make tonight. And so I think some people may be critical of that. I fully understand what you're saying. We did have opportunities to ask questions about all of those items when it was raised last week at our SIB we had on, or this week. Well, it would have been. But we had opportunities during the week to raise it. That would be my only query that with that. But if councillors wish to place the matter under confidentiality, cover of confidentiality, well then they need to vote in support of it. Does anyone else wish to either speak in favour or against? And if not, we'll just give it to Councillor Barry to close if he wishes to do so and put it to the vote. No one? Thank you, Councillor Barry. Councillors will put it to the vote, so if you vote yes, of course, it'll be to move behind confidential cover.
The motion to go behind closed doors has been carried unanimously with 10 in favour, noting that Councillor Sabiri is absent.
What I'll do is I'll just call for somebody to move us back from confidential. Councillor Barry, thank you. Seconder was Councillor Kunza. Councillor Barry, if you've got anything you'd like to add?
Nothing further, thank you.
Nothing. Councillor Kunza? No. Councillor, just put this to the vote that we go back to a public meeting. We'll put this to the vote.
The motion to reopen the doors to the public has been carried unanimously, 11 in favour.
Thank you very much, councillors. We now return to our public meeting, and I'd like, for the sake of the record, just to read the resolution. In relation to EN 013 of 20, the title of that report is Recycling Contract. The officer's recommendation was, and council has resolved that council accepts the submission as recommended in the evaluation report as the most advantageous to the city for a period of 5 years. In brackets, refer confidential large attachment 2, and point 2 of the officer's recommendation, which was endorsed, that council authorises the chief executive officer to enter into a contract for the processing of recyclables within the recommended respondent, subject to any variations, in brackets, of a minor nature. Full stop. Councillors, there being no further business at item 17, I now declare this meeting closed. The time now is 5:45 p.m. 5:55 p.m. I'd like to thank everyone for their attendance.